MTA New York City Transit, part of the busiest and largest transit system in North America, loses over $500,000 every day to fare evasion. These criminals are known as fare jumpers, riders who avoid paying the $2.75 fare to enter the subway and bus system. According to the MTA, each day, roughly 208,000 subway riders and 384,000 bus riders don't pay a fare. That's 592,000 people, or 8.16% of all bus and subway ridership. To put that number in perspective, 592,000 people is equal to 6.86% of the population of New York City, and is more than the entire population of the state of Wyoming. Now, simple math would suggest that if 592,000 people a day avoid paying a $2.75 fare, that would be equal to a loss of at least $594 million. But the MTA claims that they only lost $215 million in 2018. I don't understand their mathematical formula, but regardless, that's a lot of money. Now, according to this Bloomberg article, Andy Byford, president of the New York City Transit Authority, claims that fare jumping has dramatically risen ever since the Manhattan District Attorney's Office announced that they would no longer be prosecuting cases of fare evasion. Specifically, they would not be enforcing New York State Penal Law Section 165.15, i.e., theft of services, which basically says if you ride the subway, bus, air, taxi, or any other public transportation service and refuse to pay, you're committing a Class A misdemeanor and you could go to jail. However, when it comes to people breaking this law on a subway or bus, the Manhattan DA refuses to prosecute. So the MTA is blaming the heavy rise in fare jumping on the Manhattan DA's failure to prosecute fare jumpers. The DA's office responded by saying that the MTA's deficit has nothing to do with their policy. Instead, they blame the MTA's mismanagement, including the authority's rising debt, declining ridership, and out-of-control costs. Yes, the MTA is being mismanaged, but they are also losing millions of dollars from fare evasion. So two things can be true at the same time. So you most likely won't go to jail, but if you do get caught fare jumping, you can be ejected from the system, receive a civil summons, and a $100 fine. So far this year, twice as many summonses have been issued, compared to the same period last year. But it's not deterring enough people. In fact, fare evasion has skyrocketed from a low of 1.61% in December 1995 to its current level of 8.16%. And to show you how bad it is, I went to the Myrtle Avenue stop, a moderately busy subway station in Brooklyn, to see the extent of the problem firsthand. I hid my cell phone in a folded cardboard box to record fare jumpers for posterity. Now, before we get to the fare jumpers, I have to point out these two guys selling card swipes to riders for $2 in cash. I personally see these two every day I visit the station, all in plain sight and all in the view of MTA workers who don't seem to care what happens when it comes to lawbreakers. In fact, here's a worker not saying anything while 5 people enter without paying. And then this woman enters right behind him. And here's another 5 people sneaking into the system. But you know what? Each of them had a very good reason. They think they're better than you. When it comes to jumping the turnstile, some people have cat-like reflexes. Others, not so much. This man pays, but opens the emergency door to let his buddy in. Best friends forever! And check out this sweetheart while he holds the emergency door open for several women before he sneaks in. What a gentleman. And here's a woman who stops and admires all of the money that she saved from not having to pay the fare. In 1 hour and 19 minutes, I witnessed 74 people entering the system without paying. That's nearly 1 fare jumper per minute. And had the NYPD not shown up, the fare jumping would have continued. The Manhattan DA claims that they are not criminally prosecuting fare jumpers because it criminalizes poverty and leaves customers with lifelong criminal records. First off, if you don't want a lifelong criminal record, don't break the law. Second, and I could be wrong here, but it doesn't seem like most of these fare beaters live in poverty. Okay, maybe this guy, this other guy, and this woman. And you can tell that they're all living in poverty because each of their headphones have wires. Sad, really. So if you're looking for a solution, having a visible police presence during rush hour is a strong deterrent, because when people see NYPD, they won't fare jump, which means that there's no need for cops to issue a summons or make an arrest. Fare jumpers are effectively stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from an already strapped transit authority, so the next time the MTA raises fares, well, you know who to thank. In the meantime, get ready to watch some raw footage of the fare jumpers, and if you recognize anyone, be sure to share this video with them. And if you're one of the fare jumpers, I hope you're proud of yourself. Thanks for watching, sharing, and hitting that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Check out the links in the description and check out these videos that you may have missed. Thanks again, and I hope to see you all next time.